Shalom, family, and welcome back to Covenant Convo with Shaya. We are in session 4 of our series, A Covenant People Under Siege, Foreign Domination, Identity Erosion, and the Pattern of Captivity Repeating Through the Ages. This is a deep look into Canaan 5, or Lamentations 5. In this session, we're going to cover the calling of YaramaYah, his age, his fears, what he says to Yah, and Yah's response. As always, we'll begin with the reading of our foundational text, Canaan 5. Remember, O Alua, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand. We get our bread with peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the city of Yehuda. Princes are hanged up by their hand. The faces of elders were not honored. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood. The elders have ceased from the gate. The young men from their music. The joy of our heart is ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. For this our heart is faint. For these things our eyes are dim. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Thou, O Alua, remainest forever. Thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore dost thou forget us forever and forsake us so long time? Turn thou us unto thee, O Alua, and we shall be turned. Renew our days as of old, but thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. And before we get deep into our message, let me lay a little foundation for you. So when YaramaYah is called, it's during the 13th year of King Yeshia's reign. YaramaYah is roughly 12 to 14 years old, so he's a teen or preteen. The nation is experiencing a temporary reform, but hidden rebellion. And YaramaYah is inside Anatoth, a priestly city of wounded exiles. So let's read the text. We're going to read YaramaYah, the first chapter, so that we'll have a understanding of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to go verse by verse, 1 through 19, and we're going to break down what each verse means as it relates to our study. Verse 1. The words of YaramaYah, the son of Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anatoth in the land of Benjamin. This one verse reminds us of everything we've already uncovered. YaramaYah is not a random voice. He is a Elohim's son, born from a priestly line that was exiled and rejected. The Anatoth priests, tied back to the Abiathar line that Shalama pushed out. Anatoth is a wounded priest city in the land of Benjamin. It sits on the edge of Yehuda's territory, carrying generational shame, political exile, and spiritual trauma. So from the first line, Yah is telling us, the prophet I'm about to use comes from a house that knows rejection, displacement, and what it feels like to be out of favor with the establishment. Verse 2. To whom the word of Yahuwah came in the days of Yeshua, the son of Aman, king of Yehuda, in the 13th year of his reign. The timing here is loaded. Yah doesn't call YaramaYah during the glory days of Dawid or in the early purity of Shalama. He calls him in the 13th year of Yeshua, during the same king we just finished exposing, a reformer who looked righteous on the outside, but did not produce a nation that truly repented. So when the word of Yah comes to YaramaYah, it is not during covenant strength. It is during cosmetic reformation, deep mixture, and a nation faking repentance. Yah chooses a young priest's son in a wounded town right when the system looks fixed, but the rot is still in the bones. Verse 3. It came also in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Yeshua, king of Yehuda, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of King Yeshua, king of Yehuda, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem captive in the 5th month. This verse gives us the span of his ministry, from Yeshua's reform all the way to the actual exile. That means YaramaYah doesn't just prophesy in a calm season. He ministers through rapid king turnover, puppet governments, Babylonian pressure, and finally the fall of the city. He is not a short-term prophet who sees one event and disappears. He walks the people from fake revival, rising judgment, to full-scale captivity. His words cover from warning to escalation to collapse. Verse 4. Then the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, in this verse, people skip it because they don't see what we are going to see here. This part talks about how YaramaYah is called, or how the Most High approaches YaramaYah. YaramaYah does not fast for a calling. He does not ask to be a prophet. He does not self-appoint himself. No king, no priest, no elder, and no community leader calls him into a meeting to say, speak for us. Yah himself initiates everything. He comes directly to a child in a rejected priest town with no human permission, no priestly mediation, and no requests from the nation. Yah doesn't ask YaramaYah, are you ready? He doesn't negotiate terms. He simply shows up and starts talking. That alone tells us this calling is sovereign, uninvited, and completely driven by Yah's agenda, not by religion, not by politics, and not by community desire. Verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Here Yah strips away every excuse before YaramaYah can open his mouth. He tells him, you are not a product of trauma. You are not an accident of exile. You are not an afterthought of a failed priesthood. Before your mother ever carried you, Yah already knew you. Intimate, personal, covenant level knowledge. Sanctified you. Set you apart from your peers, either from your childhood experiences. Ordained you. Legally installed you as a prophet, not just to Yehuda, but to the nations. This is a direct rebuke to the idea that calling comes from ordination papers, seminary degrees, titles, or elder votes. Yah is saying your identity, your assignment, and your audience were decided before your birth. Not by the priesthood that rejected your house, but by me. Verse 6. Then said I, oh, Yahuwah, Eluah, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. When YaramaYah says I am a child, he is not just saying I'm scared. He's speaking from covenant community culture. In Yasharel, elders, priests, and seasoned men were the public voices. A child speaking correction to kings, priests, and national leaders was socially out of order. He knows elders will say, "Who are you to talk to us?" He has watched his whole life how older people resist correction. Leaders despise rebuke. False prophets hate truth. Corrupt officials punish honesty. So I am a child really means they will never respect my voice. I will be rebuked, mocked, and attacked for speaking at this age. He already sees the social warfare that will come with obedience. And if anybody understands that, I do. For you see, I'm a female. And there are many men in religious circles and even in what we call the truth that try to silence the mouths of women that the Most High is speaking to and through, who He has put a word in their mouths. They say, "You're a woman. You should shut up. Go cook. Go clean. You have no right to teach. You have no right to correct." As if they themselves are the sanctioning authority of the work of the Most High Yah. Yah knows the gender, the age, the social status of the people He chooses. He knows your family history. He knows your economic condition. He knows your level of intellect. And He still chooses who He chooses. He doesn't ask for the permission of the so-called movement leaders. Who can stay His hand or say unto Him, "What doest thou?" Who are you to call a woman? Who are you to call a child? Verse 7. But Yahuwah said unto me, "Say not, I am a child. For thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee thou shalt speak. Say not, I'm poor. Say not, I'm a woman. Say not, I don't have an education. The Most High will send thee, and whatsoever He command thee, thou shalt speak." Yah shuts that down immediately. Do not say that. Yah is not just correcting vocabulary. He is breaking the culture's control over His servant. He refuses to let age, gender, rank, or community structure dictate who He can use. He tells YaramaYah, "You will go where I send you. You will say what I command you." In other words, you are not a child in this office. You are not a woman in this office. You are not poor in this office. You are my mouth in this generation. Yah is tearing down the idea that people, titles, and seniority get to approve His prophets. He is retraining YaramaYah to see himself by heavenly assignment, not earthly status. Verse 8. Be not afraid of their faces, For I am with thee to deliver thee, saith Yahuwah. Faces here means status, power, expression, and intimidation. Yah knows exactly what is coming. Angry kings, glaring princes, hostile priests, and mocking crowds. He doesn't promise they will like you, but he promises, I will deliver you. That means danger is guaranteed. Attack is guaranteed. But so is rescue. This is Yah telling a child, you will stand in rooms that want you dead, but I will pull you out every time. It's the same thing many freedmen face when we speak against foreign influence, identity theft, and mixture. The faces are hostile. The pressure is real. But Yah's presence is our security. Verse 9. Then Yahuwah put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And Yahuwah said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. Now Yah moves from words to contact. He doesn't anoint YaramaYah's hands, his feet, or head. He touches his mouth. That touch is empowerment. Yah himself loading his speech into YaramaYah's spirit. Cleansing, removing fear, impurity, and human opinion from his words, so his mouth can be a clean channel. Authorization. Marking him publicly as Yah's official spokesman, whether people accept it or not. From this moment, YaramaYah's mouth is not his own. He doesn't get to tone it down for comfort. Yah says, Behold, I have put my words in your mouth. Meaning everything coming out from this office is evidence, not opinion. Verse 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down and to build and to plant. This is Yah's legal appointment sentence. He is not just a local prophet. Yah sets him over nations and kingdoms in the spirit as a covenant prosecutor in judgment. His job description: to root out, expose what's hidden, to pull down, strip away false security, to destroy, declare the end of wicked systems, to throw down, to topple structures of rebellion, to build, announce Yah's restoration plan, to plant, establish covenant truth for the remnant. This is why YaramaYah speaks to Egypt, Babylon, Moab, Edom, Ammon, Philistia, Elam, Damascus, because his mantle is multinational, not just tribal. He is set over the same heathen seeds we see rising in every captivity. We are seeing whited out nations, nations that have mingled themselves with the fallen. And very few of them are representative of any pure Adamic bloodlines. The nations that would take us into captivity that the Most High would use have already been mingled. That's why he uses them, because the lineage that is there is a cursed lineage, destined for destruction. Verse 11. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, YaramaYah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. The first vision is simple on the surface, but deeper in meaning. The almond tree is the earliest to wake up in that region, first to blossom, first to signal a shift of season. Yah is training YaramaYah's prophetic eyesight. Tell me what you see. When he answers correctly, it shows he's not just hearing. He is seeing clearly. The almond rod hints that Yah's word is about to wake up quickly, before anyone expects it, just like that early blooming tree. Verse 12. Then said Yahuwah unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. Just like the almond tree is blooming faster than it should, the word of the Most High will manifest quickly. Yah confirms you saw correctly. That alone is huge. Yah affirming a young prophet's vision, building confidence. Then he explains the symbol. I will hasten my word. No more long comfort delays. This is Yah saying things I spoke through earlier prophets will now begin to move fast. I'm not just talking, I'm performing. That's why YaramaYah's ministry feels like rapid fire collapse. Once Yah accelerates, there is no going back. Verse 13. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. The second vision turns from gentle to violent. A boiling pot is a picture of rage, chaos, and violent upheaval. The face toward the north matters. This is not random geography. The north in scripture is where the great invading empires come through. Assyria, Babylon, layer even Greco-Roman pressure. Yah is showing him there is a concentrated rage being stirred up in the north, and it points straight at this land. It's not just war. It's judgment being cooked and poured out. Verse 14. Then Yahuwah said unto me, out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. Now Yah explains clearly, this is not a local skirmish. This is evil breaking forth upon all the inhabitants. The north is not just a direction. It's the pipeline of foreign power. Heathen seed lines and empire systems Yah uses as a rod. Just like Spain, Portugal, Britain, and America in later history. The north is a channel through which long-planned domination enters. Yah is saying this won't be isolated. Everyone will feel it. The kingdoms of the north represent the watcher spirits, the heathen lineage, powers unfamiliar to the peoples of the land and the surrounding areas. Foreign tribes that have invaded other nations round about and have transformed the genetic code of those lineages. They have replaced the Adamic bloodline with a vile, wicked, evil, and violent brutish force. Verse 15. Lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, saith Yahuwah, and they shall come, and they shall set every one his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem. This is occupation language. Yah is calling families from the kingdoms from the north. That means dynasties, bloodlines, ruling houses, not just random soldiers. They will set their thrones at the gates of Jerusalem, meaning foreign rulers, foreign judges, and foreign authorities will sit where Yasharel's elders used to sit. The gates were the place of law, trade, and judgment. So Yah is saying foreign powers will make your city their headquarters. They will control your walls, your cities, and your borders. That's exactly what we see in every captivity. Outsiders sitting in positions that once belonged to us. And against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Yehuda. This detail is critical. Yah is not describing a single battle at a single gate. He is describing a full territorial takeover. When he says they will come against all the walls round about, he means every line of defense will fail. Every fortified place will be breached. And every city that once represented Yehuda's strength will fall. Walls were the pride, identity, and security of ancient cities. If the walls fail, then the people fail. And Yah is telling YaramaYah, the foreign powers I am calling from the north will not stop at Jerusalem. They will dismantle the entire structure of Yehuda, city by city, wall by wall. And when he adds, against all the cities of Yehuda, he is making it clear this is not just a judgment on leadership, not just a judgment on the temple. It's not just a judgment on Jerusalem. It is a nationwide collapse. Every region, every stronghold, every city with covenant history. Every place that thought it was safe because it wasn't Jerusalem. Yah is saying what is coming will reach every pocket of this nation. No city will escape the consequences of the corruption, mixture, and rebellion that has spread from the top down. This explains why YaramaYah will later travel, warn, cry, and lament across multiple districts. Because Yehuda's fall was not a local event, but the unraveling of an entire covenant nation under foreign domination. Verse 16. And I will utter my judgments against them touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other almond, and worship the works of their own hands. Here Yah makes it clear. The real issue is not Babylon. It's not Assyria. Nor is it the north. In other words, the powers that are coming against us are not even relevant to us. No. The real issue is Yasharel's wickedness. Forsaking Yah, burning incense to other almond, worshiping the works of their own hands. This is Yah saying the foreign takeover is not random racism. It is judgment for covenant breaking. He is not just punishing bad behavior. He is responding to a people who willingly swapped him out for watcher spirits, idols, and self-made religion. Verse 17. Thou therefore gird up thy loins, and arise, and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. Now Yah turns from what he will do to what YaramaYah must do. Gird up thy loins. In other words, tighten your belt, brace yourself, and get ready for war-level resistance. He commands YaramaYah to stand up, open his mouth, say everything Yah commands. No editing, no softening, no self-protection. Yah warns him, don't be dismayed at their faces, or I will confound you before them. In other words, if you fear them, you will lose the authority I gave you. If you shrink back, you will be the one exposed. Verse 18. For behold, I have made thee this day a defense city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole nation, against the kings of Yehuda, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. Yah now describes the kind of man he is turning YaramaYah into. A defensed city, hard to invade, spiritually fortified, cannot be manipulated, cannot be bought, cannot be bribed. An iron pillar, unbending, load-bearing truth. Brazen walls, resistant to attack, not easily corroded. And look at who he's set against. Kings of Yehuda, princes, priests, the people of the land. That means everyone with a title and everyone without one will be on the other side of this word. YaramaYah is not sent to be popular. He is built to stand alone against a whole system. Verse 19. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee, saith Yahuwah, to deliver thee. Yah closes the chapter with brutal honesty and unbreakable comfort. He does not say they might fight you. He says they shall fight you. Attack is part of the assignment. But he also seals the promise. They will not prevail. I am with you. I will deliver you. So the calling of YaramaYah is not a feel-good prophetic moment. It is Yah taking a young priest's son in a collapsed nation and turning him into a walking courtroom, a house prophet, covenant prosecutor, and witness to both judgment and mercy. So as we close this session, we stand with YaramaYah at the end of verse 19. At the moment where Yah tells a child, we must remember he's a child, they shall fight against thee, but shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee to deliver thee. This is not encouragement. This is ordination. This is Yah announcing that the entire nation, kings, priests, princes, elders, prophets, and people will rise against him and still fail. Why? Because Yah is not simply raising a child here. He is raising a continuation of a prophetic bloodline. He is placing YaramaYah into a stream of men who carried covenant authority before him. Men like Shamuel, the first great priest prophet, like Alyah and Alyasha, who confronted kings. Men like Yeshaya, who warned generations. Men like Nahum, Zephaniah, and Habakkuk, who saw judgment approaching. Men like Micaiah, who stood alone against 400 false prophets and still spoke truth. YaramaYah does not appear out of nowhere. He steps into a prophetic inheritance that stretches back centuries. A lineage of men set to warn a rebellious nation on the edge of collapse. But he also carries something the others did not. He is a priest by birth and a prophet by ordination. He is born into the wounded priestly city of Anatoph, yet called to carry the national prophetic mantle, which means his assignment is dual. He is a priestly prophet or a prophetic priest. He is raised to understand the temple, the covenant, the offerings, the holiness standards, but commissioned to confront the kings, expose the priests, rebuke the prophets, and prophesy to the nations. This dual mantle explains why his prophecies cut deep. His tears run heavier. His burden lasts longer. His message touches nations, not just Yehuda. And his writings stand as the legal record of Yah's case against his people. No other prophet carries this exact combination. And this is where we go next. In our next discussion, we will set back through time and examine the prophets who paved the way for YaramaYah, the men whose ministries prepared the spiritual landscape he would inherit. We will look at their warnings, their messages, their confrontations with kings, and how each one adds a layer of meaning to the mantle placed on YaramaYah. Because you cannot understand the weight of this young prophet's calling until you understand the prophetic lineage he steps into, the priestly authority he is born with, and the covenant assignment that rests on his shoulders. This is where we go next. In session 5, we'll talk about the line of prophets behind YaramaYah. The priestly prophet rises. All right, family, as always, I pray this message has been a blessing to you. We will have our live discussions again every Friday and every Sunday. Fridays at 8 p.m., Sundays at 6 p.m., where I will have an opportunity to go into more detail about the message on content that I just can't put on the video. Some of it is just for the house of Yasharel, and it would just increase the length of the videos too long for me to go into so many different things that the Most High has brought to the forefront of my spirit in my studies, meditations, and prayers. You are more than welcome to email us at covenantconvo@gmail.com if you would like the Zoom link to participate in our live Zooms. Again, we have them Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 6 p.m. I pray that you are blessed, delivered, healed, and set free, and that the Most High gives you the grace and strength to endure this captivity until he comes to redeem his chosen people. Yah bless. Shalom.